Good day everyone, welcome, and today we'll be discussing the topic quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. A quadratic equation is an equation of degree 2. That is, the highest power of the variable is 2 or the highest power of our unknown is 2. Now the standard form for quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0, where a is not equal to 0 and a, b and c are constant. Now methods of solving quadratic equation. Now there are various methods of solving quadratic equation. Here we have factorization, computing the square, and graphical method. There are other methods, but for this study we will be looking at these three methods. In this first video we will be discussing factorization method, while we will be discussing computing the square method and graphical method in subsequent video. Now for factorization method, we have an example from UME 1979. It states that the solution of the equation x squared minus 2x equals to 8 is, and we're given the option. Now for the very first part of our question, we'll be arranging it to fit the standard form of quadratic equation. So doing so, x squared minus 2x equals to 8 will be rearranged as x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals to 0. At this point, we are going to be looking for two factors, in which when we multiply them it's going to give us minus 8, and when we add them it's going to give us minus 2. That is, we are looking for two numbers. Each one we multiply the two numbers give us minus 8, and when we add them it's going to give us minus 2. Now we find the factors of c, that when added we give b, and when multiplied we give c, as previously explained. Now we know that c is equals to minus 8 and b is equals to minus 2. Now the numbers are minus 4 and plus 2, because minus 4 times 2 is equals to minus 8, and minus 4 plus 2 is equals to minus 2. x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals to 0 becomes x squared minus 4x plus 2x minus 8 equals to 0. Now factorizing, it becomes s into s minus 4 for the first two elements plus 2 into s minus 4 for the next two will be equals to 0. Factorizing further, since our brackets are the same, it becomes s plus 2 in bracket, s minus 4 in bracket is equals to 0. Now for this equation to be correct, it's either s minus 4 is equals to 0 or s plus 2 is equals to 0. When s minus 4 is equals to 0, s will be equals to 4, and when s plus 2 is equals to 0, s will be equals to minus 2. So the value for s is equals to 4 and minus 2. We have another question that states that solve the equation s minus 2 in bracket, s minus 3 in bracket is equals to 12, and we're given the option. Now the way we approach this is that we are going to first of all expand the left hand side. Now expanding, s minus 2 in bracket, s minus 3 in bracket equals to 12 will become s into s minus 3 minus 2 into s minus 3 is equals to 12, and expanding becomes s squared minus 3s minus 2s plus 6 is equals to 12. Adding minus 3s and minus 2s, we have s squared minus 5s plus 6 minus 12 is equals to 0. Simplifying further, it becomes s squared minus 5s minus 6 is equals to 0. Now we are going to be looking for our two factors, in which when we multiply them is going to give us minus 6, and when we add them it's going to give us minus 5. The factors are minus 6 and plus 1. So splitting minus 5s into minus 6s and plus 1s, it becomes s squared minus 6s plus s minus 6 equals to 0. Now factorizing, we'll factorize the first two parts first and the other two, so it becomes s into s minus 6 plus 1 into s minus 6 is equals to 0. Factorizing further, because our brackets are the same, becomes s plus 1 in bracket into s minus 6 in bracket is equals to 0. So at this point we know that s plus 1 will be equals to 0, or s minus 6 equals to 0 for our equation to be true. And when s plus 1 is equal to 0, s will be equal to minus 1. And when s minus 6 is equal to 0, s will be equal to 6. So our value for s is minus 1 or 6. We have another question from UME 1982, and it states that the solution to the quadratic equation 5 plus 3s minus 2s squared is equals to 0 is, and we're given the option. Now our very first step is to rearrange our question to fit the general quadratic form. So rearranging 5 plus 3s minus 2s squared equals to 0 becomes 2s squared minus 3s minus 5 equals to 0. Now for question in which a is not 1, that in this our example a is equals to 2, instead of looking for two numbers in which one we multiply them is going to give us minus 5, and when we add them it's going to give us minus 3, we are first of all going to multiply the value of a and c, in this case 2 and minus 5. So multiplying 2 times minus 5 will be equals to minus 10. Now we are going to be looking for two numbers in which when we multiply them is going to give us minus 10, and when we add them is going to give us minus 3, which is the value of b. The numbers are minus 2 and plus 5, because minus 2 times plus 5 is going to give us minus 10, and minus 2 plus 5 is minus 3. So splitting minus 3s into minus 2s and plus 5s, it becomes 2s squared minus 2s plus 5s minus 5 is equals to 0. And factorizing our first two elements, it becomes 2s into s minus 1, and our last two elements, it becomes plus 5 into s minus 1 will be equals to 0. Factorizing further, it becomes 2s plus 5 in brackets s minus 1 is equals to 0. So at this point we know that 2s plus 5 will be equals to 0, or s minus 1 is equals to 0. When 2s plus 5 equals to 0, 2s will be equals to minus 5, and dividing both sides by 2, s will be equals to minus 5 over 2. And when s minus 1 is equals to 0, s will be equals to 1. So our final answer is s equals to minus 5 over 2 or 1. We have another question from UME 1991, and it states that find the positive number n such that thrice its square is equal to 12 times the number. Now representing this mathematically, it is 3n squared is equals to 12n, and as you can see the highest power is 2, so it's a quadratic equation. So rearranging, it becomes 3n squared minus 12n is equals to 0. Since there is no c, we can factorize out normally. Now factorizing, we have 3n in common, so factorizing 3n out, it becomes 3n in bracket n minus 4 is equals to 0. So therefore for this to be equal to 0, 3n will be equals to 0, or n minus 4 will be equals to 0. When 3n is equals to 0, n will be equals to 0, and when n minus 4 is equals to 0, n will be equals to 4. Here are some exercises for you to try your hands on at home. And for more insight on this topic, you can check out our Hidden Facts Further Mathematics textbook. You can get the hard copy in bookshops, or if you are interested in the soft copy, you can get it at the website on the bottom of the screen. Thank you.